Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janira and today is Wednesday, July 29th, and I'm here with your stimulus check update. As some of you guys may know, the Republicans put out a bill called the HEALS Act on Monday, which stands for Health Economic Assistance, Liability Protection, Schools. There will be a second direct payments to Americans of $1,200 for anybody who makes $75,000 or less. As you make more, the $1,200 begins to decrease all the way up to $99,000. In that case, you would not get a stimulus check. When it comes to married couples, you will get a $2,400 stimulus check. Any married couple making $150,000 or less. When you get to 198, you will not get a stimulus check. Now, for each dependent, you will get a $500 stimulus check for your dependents, and that has no age limit. So you technically could get a $500 extra on your stimulus check for your child who is in college or somebody that you take care of. Republicans do not want to extend the $600 unemployment money. They want to phase that down to about $200 for the months of August and September. And come October, the $200 payments will be eliminated and it will be replaced with 70% of what you made at your previous job. It would not go over that 70%. It will be capped. So $500 would technically come from the federal government. Well, up to $500 would come from the federal government, and the rest would come from the state. That equals up to 70% of your last check. Now, the Democrats don't really want this to happen because they're saying if you take this $600 away from Americans, that it will create more poverty. So right now, that is a red line for Democrats. So I honestly don't think that's going to be included in the HEALS Act when it is passed, but I'm not sure. Right now, it's a negotiation process, and at the end of the negotiation, we will see what they come up with. Third phase of this bill would include funding for education. Now, they have allocated $100 billion for education and for schools and colleges and so on and so forth. Now, that money will be for schools. Some of that money will be for schools in order to get them up to par so that kids can come back and be protected, with like hand sanitizer and mask, or like putting up protection barriers or cleaning stuff. Money will be set aside for schools so they can reopen. Also, they also will have money just in case they have to go with online learning as well. So $100 billion will be set aside for education in the HEALS Act bill. Next, about $190 billion in funding for the PPP loan program and tax incentives for small business. The next one, it would be liability protection for COVID lawsuits. So if you go back to work and you get sick, they want that business to be protected against lawsuits, which could technically bankrupt a company if you have multiple lawsuits because somebody gets sick at their establishment. So in the HEALS Act, they want to put that in there so that businesses are protected against lawsuits. Democrats are not happy with this because they're saying that businesses should not be the main priority. It should be the person. So right now, that is a red line for Democrats. They do not want the business to be favored over a person's life, which is understandable. I get it. The next part of the HEALS Act would be the extension for the extension of forbearance payments for federally backed mortgages. So as you may know, a lot of people have filed for forbearance claims so that they will not be kicked out or have to lose their home because of this pandemic. And the HEALS Act bill is going to extend that program. Next on the HEALS Act is the PPP. And that basically is targeted for small businesses. They do want to keep going with the PPP. They want to give it more or direct it more towards small businesses. So that includes businesses that are 300 or less employees, and they also can show that their sales have dropped 50% or more. So those loans will be allocated for those businesses under those terms. The next stipulation in this stimulus package is liability protection. Now, the Republicans want liability protection for healthcare organizations. They want liability protection for schools and other businesses where you could potentially get this virus. They want to make sure that the businesses are protected so that they cannot be sued out of this world, and basically protect the business from bankruptcy due to being sued for people getting the virus. The Democrats are not on board with this. They feel like they should provide protection for the people, and that is what is more important. The business is not that important. Protection for the people is way more important than protection for the business. In this HEALS Act, the Republicans also would like tax deductions for meals for the self-employed or small businesses. This was at 50% deduction on your tax return. They are pushing this up from 50% to 100%. In this bill, they also have other deductions. For instance, purchasing of PPE gear. They have also funds allocated for vaccines and for testing. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please comment, rate, and subscribe to my channel for more updates.